Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Conversation Podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Daniel. And Sarah, can you feel that energy in the air right now?
I can. It's that strange, quiet period right after Christmas where everyone is just waiting for the calendar to flip over.
It is. We are right on the edge of a brand new year. It's a time for fresh starts, turning over a new leaf, and of course, the two inevitable questions that you get asked at every single social gathering.
Oh, I know these questions. Question number 1 is usually the fun one. So, what did you do for New Year's Eve? Did you go to a big party? Did you stay in and watch fireworks on TV?
That one is easy enough. But then comes question number 2, the scarier one.
What are your plans for the actual New Year?
Just hearing you say it makes me feel a little bit stressed.
Why is that? It's just a friendly question.
I know, but I feel like there is so much pressure attached to it. People expect you to have this grand, life-changing master plan. Like I should say, well, Sarah, in January, I'm climbing Mount Everest. In February, I'm launching $1 million business. And by March, I'll be fluent in Mandarin.
Right. And meanwhile, your actual plan is just to try and remember to floss your teeth more often.
Exactly. The reality is that most people do not have a master plan.
No, most of us have a messy mix of things. We have some concrete arrangements, like a holiday we already booked. We have some vague hopes and dreams, like maybe getting fitter. And we have some bad habits we desperately want to change.
And communicating that messy mix in a second language can be really tricky. It's not just about knowing future tense grammar.
It's about knowing which future grammar to use to sound natural. It's about the phrasal verbs for starting new hobbies and the idioms for when those ambitious plans inevitably go wrong.
So today, we are going to give you the complete vocabulary toolbox to handle this season. We are going to help you look ahead and talk about your future with confidence, whether your plans are set in stone or just a vague idea.
Before we jump into the future tense and all those New Year's resolutions, if you want to make improving your English one of your successful goals for this year, please start by hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel.
It really helps us out. Okay, Sarah, let's lay the foundation. When we talk about the future in English, a lot of learners make one big robotic mistake. Let's fix it.
Okay, Daniel, you mentioned that robotic mistake that learners make when talking about their plans. What is it?
It is the overuse of the little word will.
Oh, yes, the will trap.
Exactly. When I ask a student about their New Year's plans, they often say things like, next year I will go to the gym more, I will save money, I will visit my grandmother.
Grammatically, those sentences are correct, but in conversation they sound very strange for personal plans.
They do. Using will sounds like you are making a promise right at this second, or maybe making a prediction about the distant future. It does not sound like a plan you have already thought about.
Exactly. Native speakers rarely use will for their New Year's resolutions. We have two other heavyweights for talking about the planned future.
The two main players are going to and the present continuous.
And understanding the difference between these two is the key to sounding natural. Let's start with the most common one for New Year's stuff. Be going to plus verb.
This is the structure for intentions.
What does that actually mean, an intention?
Think of it as a plan that exists inside your head. You have thought about it, you have decided you want to do it, but you haven't necessarily taken any physical action yet. You haven't booked anything.
Okay, so for example, it's December 31st. I've eaten too much chocolate over Christmas. I have made a decision in my mind.
Right. So you say, I'm going to join a gym in January. It's a strong intention.
Or maybe we have decided we spend too much on coffee.
So we say, we are going to try to make coffee at home more often. It's a plan in our heads.
And just a quick pronunciation side note here, Daniel. When we speak quickly, going to often becomes
Gonna. I'm gonna join a gym. It's very common in natural speech.
Okay, so going to is for plans in your head. Now let's look at the second structure, the one that confuses people because it looks like present tense grammar.
The present continuous, I am doing. We use this for arrangements.
This is the next level up from an intention. An arrangement means the plan is locked in. It exists outside of your head.
Exactly. It usually means one of two things. Either you have bought tickets or made a reservation, or you have involved other people and agreed on a time. It's on the calendar.
Let's have some examples. Imagine my plan isn't just to travel more. Imagine I have actually bought my plane tickets for a specific trip.
Then you wouldn't say, I'm going to fly. You would say, I'm flying to Tokyo in March. It's definite.
Or imagine a huge life event that involves hundreds of other people, like a wedding.
You've booked the venue, you've sent the invitations. You say, big news, we're getting married in June.
You see the difference? We are going to get married is a nice idea for the future. We are getting married in June means I need to buy a new hat because it is definitely happening.
Let's do a super quick contrast to make this absolutely clear. Sarah, give me an intention about driving.
Okay, plan in my head. I want to get my license this year. I'm going to learn to drive. I haven't called an instructor yet.
Okay, now give me an arrangement about driving.
Okay, it's booked. I'm nervous because I'm taking my driving test next month.
Perfect. That is the crucial difference.
So, rule of thumb, if it's in your head, use going to. If it's in your calendar or you have a ticket for it, use the present continuous.
Now that we have that foundation, let's look at the vocabulary for those really big, definite life changes that people often plan for a new year.
Okay, so we have our grammar sorted. We use the present continuous for things that are definite arrangements. Now, a new year is often a time when people pull the trigger on massive life changes.
Exactly. These aren't just little habits. These are things that change your address, your job title, or your marital status. We call this the big stuff.
When you talk about these plans, you want to sound confident. You want phrases that show these plans are solid.
A great phrase for this is, it is set in stone.
Like a statue, it cannot be changed easily. We have chosen the date for the move. It's set in stone now.
Another good one, especially for dates and bookings, is locked in.
My annual leave is locked in for August, so we can definitely book those flights.
Okay, let's look at the two biggest areas for change. First up, career.
January is huge for job hunting. If you have already accepted a new offer, how do you tell people?
You use the present continuous, of course. You say, I have some exciting news. I'm starting a new position at Google in February.
That sounds very professional. What if it's internal? Maybe you're moving up in your current company.
You can say, I'm moving into a senior role this year, or I'm taking on more responsibility as a team leader.
And what if the plan is big but not quite locked in yet? Maybe it's a strong ambition for the year.
A great verb here is to aim for.
I'm aiming for a promotion by the end of the year, so I'm going to work incredibly hard on this next project.
Nice. Okay, the second big area is moving house or relocating to a new city or country.
This is a huge one. We often use the phrase to make a big move.
We've decided to make a big move and relocate to London in the spring. It makes it sound exciting and significant.
And again, if the contracts are signed, use that present continuous. We're incredibly stressed right now because we are moving house next weekend.
And finally, let's talk about big events and travel. Not just a weekend away, but the major trips.
A lovely idiom for something that is coming up in the future is on the horizon.
Like a ship sailing towards you.
We've got a big trip to Japan on the horizon for later this year.
And if you have done all the planning, the flights, the hotels, the tours,
You can say, our itinerary is finalized. It sounds very organized.
and for those massive social events that fill up your summer calendar, like weddings,
Again, present continuous is your friend. It's going to be an expensive year. We are attending 3 different weddings this summer.
wow, 3 weddings. Better start saving. So the key takeaway here is confidence. When you talk about these big life events, use strong phrases like set in stone and the present continuous tense to show they are real.
But Sarah, life isn't all big moves and new jobs. Most of our New Year's conversation is actually about the vague stuff, the things we hope to do.
The resolutions, that is the tricky part. Let's look at the vocabulary for hopes, dreams, and habits.
Okay, Sarah, we've covered the big moves and the new jobs, but let's be honest, 90% of New Year's conversation isn't about that.
No, it isn't.
It's about the vague stuff, the resolutions, the things we want to change about ourselves, but honestly, we aren't 100% sure we will succeed.
Exactly. And because we aren't 100% sure, using strong grammar like, I am going to do this, can sometimes feel a bit too intense. It feels like too much pressure.
So, we need softer alternatives, phrases that show we are considering an idea, but we haven't totally committed yet.
My favorite one for this is, I'm thinking of, followed by an ing verb.
This is perfect for low commitment.
Right. Instead of saying, I'm going to learn French, which sounds like hard work, you say, I'm thinking of taking a French class this year.
It sounds like a nice idea, but if you don't do it, nobody can blame you.
Exactly. Another slightly stronger one is, I'm planning on, plus ing verb.
I'm planning on reading more books this year instead of just watching Netflix every night.
That's a very common one. Or you can focus on the aspiration with, my main goal is to, or just simply, I hope to.
My main goal is to get fit, or I hope to travel a bit more if I have the time. These phrases are essential for sounding natural when discussing vague plans.
Now, Daniel, the new year is peak season for hobbies. Everyone wants to start something new. We need phrasal verbs for this.
We definitely do. If you are starting a completely new hobby that you have never done before, the verb is to take up.
I was inspired by a documentary I watched, so I'm going to take up pottery this year.
Or, my dad decided to take up golf now that he is retired.
But often, it's not a new hobby. It's something we used to do, we stopped, and now we want to restart.
This is very relatable. For this, we use to get back into.
I used to paint a lot in college. I really want to get back into art this year.
The classic one is exercise. I haven't been to the gym in 6 months. I need to get back into a routine.
Okay, so that's adding good things to your life, but resolutions are usually about stopping the bad things, the vices.
The negative resolutions. The big phrasal verb here for stopping something completely is to give up.
And January is famous for this. We have dry January in the UK and US, where people stop drinking alcohol for the month.
So you hear people say, my head hurts from New Year's Eve. I'm giving up alcohol for January.
Or dietary things. I'm giving up sugar, or I'm trying to give up fast food.
But Sarah, giving up completely is really hard. Sometimes you don't want to stop, you just want to reduce the amount.
That is often a healthier approach. The phrasal verb for reducing is to cut down on.
This is probably the most useful phrase of the whole episode. I drink 5 coffees a day. I really need to cut down on caffeine.
What about you, Daniel? What do you need to cut down on this year?
Oh, definitely my phone screen time. My resolution is to cut down on doom scrolling on social media before bed.
That is a very modern, very common resolution. Now, Daniel, before we move on, There is one idiom we use for habits that are really, really hard to break, like an addiction.
Yeah, for the really tough ones, we say you need to kick the habit.
It sounds forceful, like kicking a ball.
It implies it will be a fight. He's been smoking for 20 years, but he is determined to kick the habit this year. Or, I bite my nails when I'm nervous, and I really want to kick that habit.
So we have a toolbox full of phrases for our ideal future selves. We are going to take up jogging, cut down on chocolate, and kick our bad habits.
It all sounds so positive and easy when we talk about it in January.
It does, but we have to be realistic. There's an elephant in the room. By February, a lot of these plans will have failed.
Sad but true. We need the vocabulary to talk about the struggle, the success, and the inevitable failure of our plans.
Okay, Daniel, we have taken up painting and we have given up sugar. It all sounds so positive and easy right now in this pre-New Year glow.
It does, but Sarah, we have to address the elephant in the room.
What is that?
The sad statistical reality. I read somewhere that something like 80% of New Year's resolutions have failed by the first week of February.
That is depressing, but probably true. If you go to a gym on January 2nd, you can't get on a machine. If you go on February 2nd, it's empty again.
Exactly. So we need vocabulary not just for making the plans, but for the struggle of keeping them and the reality of breaking them.
Let's start positive. What do we say when things are getting tough, but we want to keep going?
The absolute best phrasal verb for this is to stick to it.
Like glue, you attach yourself to the plan and don't let go.
Right. It implies a difficult. You wouldn't say, I'm sticking to eating ice cream, because that's easy.
True. You'd say, I've started this new 6 a.m. jogging routine. It is incredibly painful right now, but I really hope I can stick to it.
Another good one for maintaining progress is to say you are staying on track, like a train moving forward.
It's hard with all these birthday parties this month, but I'm trying to stay on track with my savings goals.
Okay, now for the fun stuff, the idioms for when it all goes wrong.
The failure idioms. My favorite one is definitely to fall off the wagon.
This is such a common idiom. It originally referred specifically to drinking alcohol. If you were on the wagon, you were sober. If you fell off, you started drinking again.
But now we use it for almost any resolution, especially diets or habits. It means you were doing perfectly and then you spectacularly failed.
Give me an example, Sarah.
Okay, I did 3 whole days of my new healthy eating plan. Then Friday night arrived, I ordered a massive pepperoni pizza, and I completely fell off the wagon.
Very relatable. It happens to the best of us.
And usually we fall off the wagon because our plans were just too ambitious in the first place.
We have a great visual idiom for that. You bit off more than you could chew.
Imagine stuffing too much food into your mouth at once. You can't swallow it.
It means you took on a project or a goal that was way too big for you to handle.
Last year, I resolved to learn Mandarin Chinese and train for a marathon at the same time. I definitely bit off more than I could chew.
Yeah, one of those would have been enough.
So, the final piece of advice before we wrap up is to make sure your plans for the new year are realistic and achievable. Don't bite off more than you can chew, and you might just stick to it.
Sound advice. Okay, Sarah, let's recap what we've learned today and give our listeners their challenge for the week. Whew, we covered a lot of ground today, Sarah. From grammar rules to phrasal verbs and even idioms about falling off wagons.
It is a huge topic, but if our listeners only remember one thing from today to sound more natural, remember that will robot mistake.
Yes, try to avoid using will for your personal plans. It just doesn't sound right in conversation.
Remember the golden rule. If it's a firm arrangement booked in your calendar with other people, use the present continuous. I am flying to Rome.
If it's a strong intention inside your head, use going to. I'm going to join a gym.
And for those vague resolutions that you aren't quite sure about yet, keep it soft with phrases like, I'm thinking of taking up, or I hope to cut down on.
Now, Sarah, we have spent 20 minutes talking about our hypothetical plans, but we really want to hear from our listeners.
We definitely do. It is time for the New Year's question of the day challenge. We want you to practice this grammar right now in the comments section.
We want a two-part answer from you today.
Part 1, tell us one definite arrangement you have booked for the upcoming year, and you must use the present continuous tense.
For example, I am getting married in June, or I am starting a new job on Monday.
And part 2, tell us one resolution or habit change you want to make using one of our phrasal verbs like take up, give up, or cut down on.
We will be down in the comments reading your plans and checking your grammar.
Whatever your plans are for the new year, whether they are huge life changes or just tiny little habits, we really hope you have a fantastic, healthy, and happy year ahead.
And don't worry if you fall off the wagon with your resolutions occasionally. Just try to get back on track.
If you found this episode helpful for your holiday small talk, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the English Conversation Podcast so you don't miss our first episode of the brand new year.
Happy New Year, everyone!
See you next year!